round.
Are you ready? I don't think you are. Not as ready as I am, because holy shit, would you look at this map here. Oh man, what is the map? It's Moonlight 5x5 with 2 players of 500 or around rounded up to 600 and a 700. We'll be getting to that, but in a second, I mean, just look at this. If you'd noticed from previous videos, I've gotten quite the upgrade going. Comparatively, the quality has been increased. That's because I have a new PC. So Shitcast should look exquisite from now on. Now to the Shitcast itself, we have a very interesting start with a mass and PGen start for our first contender, Iansraad01. Something Ian, okay. That's a very interesting name. And Photon as well here, going for a very intense power setup, relatively speaking, unless he intends to take in a lot of this reclaim, get himself boosted. Oh, well, I mean, mass doesn't seem to be any particular concern of his, but he's going straight for the mass at the very center. He could certainly do with attack move order to get this mass up here with the factory, but that doesn't seem to be of a legitimate concern to him at the moment. Comparatively, there is not as much power. He seems to be left drone. Ian's going for the typical drone as per. Is this a tradition now for shitcasting? Is this going to be a staple from now on? Just every shitcast has to have at least the left drone somehow tapped onto there? I don't know, man. Photon's going to be building an air factory. Not a bad idea, but really beyond just getting the reclaim, what else is there really to do up here? I guess it's inaccessible by land attacks, but I don't know. It's a bit earlier on to build an air factory right there when you could build it safely or much more securely here with adjacency at the power. Actually, yeah, he finished that, and there's the drone on its way to mac up on some fucking reclaim. Unfortunately, Photon's engineers actually got there first, so although he's going to scoop up that mass, he's still going to be a bit behind. Still hasn't gotten his own on the ridge there, though. At least he's taken to reclaiming some of the ones he already has. Still no factories, really, from either players. On a 5x5, utilizing with little mass you have, you gotta build some factories. And you have to strangle quite a bit just to make sure you can get as much map control with how tight it is between players. These small maps will tend to go pretty quickly with a lot of T1 land spam. That's a fact. But this is kind of a rough, slow start as, well, I guess you could say at least the drone is quite useful for things like this if your opponent doesn't particularly have anti-air. Though he has an air factory, he can certainly fix that or build units. There's some mobile AA actually, perhaps in response to that. That would be good. He is stealing his own reclaim, so that is quite the brave move. No, he's gonna go over here. And the first line of defense seems to slip on through. No effort, really. Still only... I don't even know what he's actually doing. But Ian's actually capturing his core mexes. The fucking disrespect, man. Bad-mouthing his opponent. And there he's even going to try to capture a I don't think he's... No, wait a minute. 97% of a T2 mechs, and he captured it. And now the mobile arty that's being built by Photon is actually killing off the formerly his own mechs. Like, goodness gracious. That is a sad bean and a half. What a pickle to be in. He's getting T2 on his ACU, and he's got eco of his own. But this is just so fucking weird. Nothing from Ian as far as offensive ground units. And so far, there's a factory up here and a factory here, but they're interchangeably building engineers and then tanks and arty. I don't get the whole vibe. Actually, that drone is still kicking around. Nothing done about that. He's got inties, and he's just letting his shit get captured. Oh man. With a transport now on the way to the cliff edge, I assume, with arty. And with that, he can actually kill off quite a bit here. Definitely gonna take out that T2 mechs. And those Lobos are pretty freaking meaty. Those shots are not to be trifled with. They do a lot of damage. Low rate of fire, and I think spread, but Lobos are a little bit tankier too. At least some tanks are actually being deployed here by Photon, with the most idle gameplay I've seen out of such low-level games. It's the full potential of either players is just not being realized. I don't think either of them consider each other real opponents at this point. Not worth their time and effort, I guess. I was thinking he was going to capture these, but he's kind of slow to do that. I guess now that means Ian still actually has the lead with mass. Let's see his total. Yes, indeed, more total mass. Those score seems to be a bit behind Photon's, just because Photon at least is building units and other things and killing off Ian's eco. And how he intends to respond to that is uncertain exactly. Ooh, what a sneeze. Just mech marines? Still throwing in a few mech marines into the mix. And I guess he intends to do his own drops now with engineers, maybe to capture this and actually take the mass that Ian had yet to take for his own. And what a proper response. Mobile missile launchers to take out the arty on the ridge. Not entirely cost efficient, but hey, they do reach them. They do their job. Photon definitely the one with any resemblance of an army. I mean, this is enough to call GG on my part. My opponent wasn't even building any units. It's certainly not. These mobile missile launchers aren't going to be able to counter all this particularly well. Whatever happened to that drone? Somewhere he got popped off. Laying waste. And decimated. This is some bonkers shit, man. I don't particularly understand what is the game plan here. He's building a T2 PD right there with the incoming swarm, which is very poorly grouped up. As a mech marine takes a fat load of missiles. And I tell ya, they are kicking their asses. There's one thing these mobile missile launchers are good at, It's land armies that stand still. Wow. Goodness gravy. Now Ian is just reduced to this one corner with just a single engineer and mechs in the very center. Not as though Photon himself has done much to actually recuperate and regained his lead, and even Eco that much. Has just one T2 max? No, 2. And he's going for T2 on his ACU as well. Return of the drone. As it goes out to reclaim what was his. It's like bullying a kid trapped in a car with the child lock song. Oh no. Oh. Like a fucking balloon. Popped off in a mere instant. He's going straight for T3. Buddy, you do not have the eco for that, I am afraid. Not nearly enough mass or energy. I guess he's gonna try for it. I guess he reclaimed this. And eventually, it would seem these armies just retreated after getting bullied by this tremendous onslaught of mobile missile launchers. Flapjacks are a force to be reckoned with. Good God. What an exciting game here, guys. ACU is actually getting hard scoped by those walls as well. And a little entourage of bombers going for the top engineer. I have no idea what exactly is going to go on. Photon intends to get T3 ACU as he builds a T2 PGen to rectify that initial problem. But otherwise, Ian really has no contingency. He's set on something. Or nothing at all. Well, by the 9 divines, that engineer was popped off by a ghetto gunship. What in the world will that accomplish? High-induced testosterone gameplay here. There goes the T3 upgrade. And running amok into a trio static anti-air defenses. That's... oh man. I can't tell if this is what encapsulates the kind of low-level gameplay you expect in these latter parts, or like it's just mind-numbing to watch. What exactly did that accomplish? Oh, okay. I guess that accomplished something. Wow. I guess that was to pay respects to the fucking first core mechs raid there at the beginning with the drone. I feel like I should take this opportunity here to step up the speed and write down my grocery list here. Alright, let's see. Some nylon rope. About 20 feet will do. I've got a stool already. Painkillers, no. Ooh, razor blades now. That is hot and spicy. Alright, has anything happened? So far nothing. That T3 ACU is coming along nicely. With I don't get this. On a serious note, why do some people build units? Like, it's fine in the sense that you should build some anti-air and some arty to protect your little plateau if it's a secluded area. That way drops don't happen. But in this case, why are you just spamming random units on top of this plateau? What is that going to accomplish? Does he intend to drop with them? Couldn't he just build some more factories on here to just send directly at his base? Now that is not a good sight at all. Mech Marines are building up on the horizon. This is looking like the end times. TMD with his T3 ACU. Sweet. And a T2 transport. Can already see where this is going. Perhaps he intends to drop up on this peninsula and build PD to harass his base, PD creep him, with a stunning display of cunning and skill. Well, there goes a bunch of scouts to check out on the old noggin here. The old nugger. What is his opponent doing? He's actually got gun on his ACU as well. Maybe he intends to drop directly over here or actually at his base. Well, he better be weary, for indeed the flapjacks are en masse at his base and are not to be trifled with. I mean, he's got an army right here. Like, he's got units. He could simply win the game. Why don't you, pal? Why don't you? He even dropped his ACU onto the peninsula to build TMD. Safeguard everything else he has with already the TMD here. What a wild card Photon is. And a Ravager. They say when you put up some PD on the ridge, you get more range due to the height. The trajectory extends further. That's just speculation. But I think it's true. Still nothing to come of for Ian. I don't think he's going to be at all adequately prepared for this inevitable T3 comm drop. Another one bites the dust. Another one eats some pus. He's actually building T3 mass extractors, I just noticed. 3 of them are T3, in fact. He's got ridiculous mass income, I'm certain, but yep, no power whatsoever. At least he's got that T2 PGen up and running conveniently. And still nothing yet to be developed from this scenario. But I feel the onset of the game is now beginning to settle. I don't know what fucking jibber jabber I just said there. This game is taking a toll on my mental physique. And there it goes. Photon with a TML packed onto there. I don't think is going to accomplish much with TMD already hammering away there. He is going to use it to take out some T2 mexes down here. Should give him a nice healthy boost. And he's just still standing there. Thank God those flapjacks are eating the flat side of the mountain. What a adversary they are. And he's building some T2 shield. Gonna start doing some PD, no doubt. This transport actually is sitting here. Ghosting. Not building anything yet. He intends to use that gun upgrade to deal some damage. But that's a lot of flapjacks there, buddy. Aren't you gonna be careful? That's a TML. Holy shit. Now that is a turnaround if I've ever seen one. Oh no. And all the TML and the mobile missile launcher is hardly going to be there's hardly going to be enough for him to defend. He can't build enough TMD to stop this. As the next TML volley goes right in. Oh, Photon. What are you doing, dog? In spite just the Sim City for Ian, no offensive units besides these technically indirect fire units, the mobile missile launchers, and Janus, right? Oh. And don't forget the drones. Somebody should report this guy for bad-mouthing. Oh my lord. He's been learning way too much from some other players we know. But geez, this is a showcase of why you don't... so much to be learned for these two players. But I have a feeling that this is going to be a recurring pattern for these two, and I look forward to seeing more from these guys. As long as it doesn't end up being as boring as this. For 25 minutes of basically nothing but just memes. God damn, son. Alright. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this little shitcast. It's certainly something. Low tier grade quality, as we come to expect. And I don't even know if I have all the high settings. I saw that there is bloom. And as gorgeous as this can seem, I feel like it might, in turn, flush out some of the other textures. If you reach this part of the video, let me know if I should turn that on or off. It just, when I turn it off, this just looks much more crisp and easier to depict what's going on screen. I'm not sure. He actually had gunships here. He could have just fucking sent that right in and killed his ACU. What a shame. But that's gonna be all, and hopefully this was a much better experience with this new high quality PC. All jokes aside. Alright, take care guys. See you on the next one.
So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.